I love geography, I love maps, I love mountains, I love hillsides. I like traveling in those places. And when I'm working with a variety that can actually articulate that in a bottle of wine, you can take it to different parts of the world and you can actually talk about where it's from. I'm Graham, I'm the winemaker for the Capensis wines. I spent the better part of 20 years in California. My goal was always to come back to South Africa. I'm in a very fortunate position that the family that I work for also fell in love with South Africa after a couple of visits. They fell in love with this property and they asked me to come and develop it for them and to make wine from this property for them. What we're trying to do here is unique in its own sense. We've taken the plunge to focus in on Chardonnay, which is a niche little entity in the South African wine trade. It's not quite something that everybody else is doing. The uniqueness of Chardonnay is the fact that it's a neutral variety that expresses terroir better than most varieties, in my opinion. It really is the most sort of transparent variety. Less than to say it's not neutral, it's transparent. It really has the ability to show where it's grown without implanting a singular varietal character onto a place. My winemaking philosophy is exactly that. I don't really have a winemaking philosophy. I've got a vineyard philosophy, and I believe in that. I believe in finding places that define the variety rather than trying to make wine in a winery. This is a much better place to make wine. I was introduced to the Guild at a very early stage of my winemaking career through a past member in Mike Dobrovich, who took me along to a number of different tastings with him. And I was always blown away at the intensity of the curiosity that was this thirst for knowledge. And I think that's the part that was intriguing to me at that time, at that point in time in my life, because I was also extremely thirsty for knowledge at that stage. It was like a well of knowledge that was just, tasting after tasting, discussion after discussion, and it was really influential at that stage of my career. Coming back into the Guild today, I don't think much has changed. I think as South Africa's industry is maturing, I think we are maturing as an industry. We've also still on a deep path to understand what is needed out there and what we are capable of doing in South Africa. And I think the Guild is that sort of, for lack of a better word, that workshop, which I think a lot of really incredible, detailed work has been done to drive this industry in the right direction.